I don't have the footage of how this driver got to this situation in the first place, but their abilities at reversing make it no surprise they've ended up on the wrong side of the road. They're obviously too close to the curb, so to get away from it they're either going to have to mount the curb or drive forward. They're making some common errors, which I'm going to go through a little bit later on in the video to try and help you with your reversing, but I don't think you're going to be quite this bad. I think everyone can see this coming, apart from the driver. My viewer's rightly terrified and gives them space. The driver of this silver Mercedes thinks that if his front of his car is pointing where he wants to be, that's where the back's going to go. Thankfully, they have another shuffle before they have another go at the lamppost again. But quite soon, they're heading for the other one. Thankfully, after another shuffle and another reverse, it looks as though that this driver's going to avoid any more obstacles. This level of ability is quite extreme, but many drivers do struggle with this basic exercise.
Hi everyone, that first clip proves that people really do struggle reversing, and I think they're getting worse. Reversing is still a part of the driving test, but the maximum distance you'll be asked to reverse is about 2 car lengths, and I don't think that fully prepares novice drivers for situations like this.
Some country roads literally aren't wide enough for 2 vehicles, let alone if a lorry came the opposite direction. My viewer spots this early and holds back at a good position. They've given themselves options with this slip road approaching the gate. They've also given themselves options by holding back at the point where the road is widest. But it's the vehicle in between my viewer and the lorry which has to do the work. And they also do an excellent job. They're not rushed and they make sure they do it properly. They also stop when the lorry driver seems comfortable at going past. That was totally fine in this situation.
Occasionally, things do happen on driving lessons that require the student to reverse to aid the flow, but situations like this are few and far between, and I think students don't get enough practice to develop the skills anywhere near enough.
Like that, up one click. I think that's automatic. Maybe not.
Oh, I think it did that to me, yeah.
Should probably wait for us to pull back here. Now, is the room? No. So what are we going to do? We're going to reverse. So put us into reverse gear. Go check everywhere before you go. Move back a little. Move back and steer over this side. Go, steer. Go slow. And then we're trying to get the bum back over there now. So steer back to that way now. Big steer back this way. Keep looking out the back. Go slower. Look out the back a bit more. Good. Is that one got enough room to get past now?
Yeah.
Stop there. You're fine. And then check over your shoulders. And off you go slowly. Just don't rush. Better. Alright?
Yeah.
The reversing around a corner exercise gave students a better learning environment, in my opinion. They used to have to steer the car round a bend, work out where to straighten up, and then continue reversing back for 3 or 4 car lengths. Although this exercise is still on the syllabus, it won't be asked to be performed on the driving test. Instead, you may be asked to pull up and park on the right and then reverse back a couple of car lengths. Quite obviously, this does not make the student demonstrate an ability to apply the correct amount of steering input whilst going backwards, because the car will already be in a straight line. We then get situations where fully qualified drivers reverse like this.
This is in Liverpool, and this is a viewer's clip sent in. The vehicle that we're going to be watching is this black Audi coming in the opposite direction. They drive past my viewer, but going forward isn't the issue. Reversing is. The little pause says to me they're probably looking for somewhere. But it's not that long before they're back. Everything was going well until she looked over her shoulder and then steered to the right. They then see they're heading towards those cars and steer to the left. That's right, they did hit one of those white bollards. I think this driver's target fixating on all the vehicles, because you'll see as they're going past they tend to do the same thing, avoiding, avoiding, avoiding. But when they're on the open stretch of road a little touch further, the reversing improves. Rather than turning round though, they continue to reverse and emerge backwards onto the main road at the end.
Some of the mistakes that driver made are very common. Here are my top 5 tips to make your reversing more successful. Reverse slowly until you build up your skills. When going backwards, the vehicle is more manoeuvrable. In other words, you won't need as much steering input. If you reverse slowly and make an error, it will go wrong slowly, which should give you more time to fix it. Try not to look at where your vehicle is pointing. This will cause you to make excessive steering adjustments, just like we saw in the previous viewer's clip. Instead, try and look at your vehicle's movement and make small adjustments to compensate. Stopping the car also causes problems. You can't work out which way your vehicle's moving unless you move. When people look forward, it causes much confusion. Just think of this. Could you successfully drive the car forward while looking out of the rear window? Please don't try this, by the way. Instead, try having the mindset of thinking the steering wheel controls the movement of the back of the car. When you are going forward, you move the front in the direction you wish to travel, and you do exactly the same with the back when reversing. Looking at the floor in your mirrors is also another big no-no. Remember to try and look where you want the car to go and not where it is. By lifting your eyes up to the horizon, you will still see when you're getting close to things, but this will allow you to correctly assess your side-to-side movement, and you are more likely to steer correctly. Rule 203 of the Highway Code states you must not reverse for any longer than necessary. So it's pretty difficult when practicing. Try and pick a quiet car park to improve your skills. Make sure you continually check all around when reversing. In fact, try to make sure that your observations are faster than the vehicle's speed. Practice moving away from a visual line and then back towards it in a smooth, controlled manner. Once you can master 4 or 5 car lengths, you should be able to cope with longer distances in real life, if required. My last point to finish is an important one. Larger vehicles are more difficult to reverse and motorcycles generally can't. So if you're faced with a situation where it's easier for you to reverse, make sure you're ready to do it. Keep safe, everyone. I'll see you soon.
Marks out of 10 from your reversing. Thank you.